Good evening, good morning for the Europeans, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's time for Quake. And I hear someone in the voice.
G'day Rob, good to be back.
Yeah, for sure. I'm currently on location, King Kong. Something is happening around me. Their stream will start in 30 minutes, so if you're here expecting the 2v2, we'll have kuachicups, Aussie duels for you until about 12 European time. If you're looking for the 2v2, you have to go to King Kong TV.
I might be biased, but I think the Aussie duels is a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
so.
of course. Of course. And it would be nice. Well, everyone is busy, but I could have shoot in or lethal. They're probably doing stuff on the mainstream. But it's indeed good to be back, and it's awesome that they allow me to produce from here. It's an international show.
I'd say we're getting a bit of coverage here from the Australians, so from the other side of the world. But you know, shame we can't have some players over there, but that's all right. We're the next best thing, I suppose, isn't it?
Indeed. Yeah, it's lovely to have you guys back, and it's like you have set a whole schedule of dueling. Like it's. Can you say something about what
yeah,
you
so
have set up?
let me run you through what we've got set up now over down this side of the world. So we've introduced the QUAKE Dual Championship. So we're breaking this into 3 sections of dual tournaments. We're going to have 3 individually run tournaments. Each tournament is going to have a group stages, followed by a finals, which will just be a double in bracket. The point of these tournaments is they're going to earn championship points throughout. So these will be running over the next few months. Every player who competes will be earning points based off their position at the end of each split. The top 6 players at the end of these 3 splits will automatically be qualified into our, once again, LAN finals here in Melbourne, with the final 2 spots being available in a final decider tournament, we'll say, towards the end to give us our top 8 for our championship finals. In addition to this, for any players who do not qualify to get into that championship finals, it's going to be a hard-fought top 8 spot. There will also be open finals at LANs as well, so everyone is still welcome to come and participate, as long as they play out at least one of the splits, I believe. Don't quote me on that one, but I believe you have to participate in at least one of the 3 splits in the next few months. Finals are going to be again held at Fortress Melbourne, same place we were at last year. A great venue. You've been there, Rob, so you know all about it.
Yeah. They have good beer, good food, and Quake.
And this time we get the feature stage as well. Another big pro here. Shout out to Fortress on this one, by the way. They are doing a grassroots tournament system where players or groups and tournament organisers from all around Australia are able to come in and set up these tournaments for next to nothing. To try and grow esports, and it's such a great initiative, I think, from them. So we really appreciate that as well.
That's very nice to hear. So it's the huge stage with the Alienberg stage that you get to use.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. We get the big esports stage. So we'll have seating there. There'll be seating set up for it, and there'll be plenty of room to get. We'll get everyone in. We'll not be in the top 8. Or if it's in the open files as well. So make sure if you haven't, we can't sign up for anymore for this first split. That has already begun. But as I say, in the coming months there will be, keep your eye out, announcements on the kuachicups Discord. There will be information about the rest of the splits as we go ahead. This first split is going to be finished, I believe finals around the 1st of December, I believe they finish. So we've got about a month for the split 1.
Yeah, and today we'll jump into the Division 1. The featured matches will be First match will be Haymo versus R. Lucky. Second match, Knight versus Lure. Third match, Red Oxide versus Once Bay.
Yeah, when I saw the set of matches we got, honestly, I'm really excited for all three of these setup matchups. Lucky has been a player who's been improving like massively over the last. He's been grinding out the game. He's been playing extremely well. Haymo, he's always, he's a staple name. We know him. He's not just the admin. He's a good player too. Even if he doesn't play as much as he might like to. But yeah, it's going to be a strong. Could go either way. Knight Lure, again, same deal. Knight, newest member of admin team, doing a fantastic work. So a big shout out, by the way, to Haymo and Knight. They have done so much work to make everything happen behind the scenes. So if everyone can thank those guys in particular, they've really made this all happen. Yeah, so Knight and Lure, again, could go either way. And then finishing the night off with Red Oxide versus Billy. Again, Billy, a relatively new name again in the scene. I still remember the days when I was teaching him in one of our introductory white belt nights when he was brand new, and it feels like not that long ago, and now he's absolutely destroying me in matches. So I'm excited to see him.
Yeah. Like, how do you feel when that happens? Like, I also have that sometimes. Like, or even when I introduce someone to Quake, and at some point they are better than me, and then it's just like, oh, what have I done?
The first time it happened, because it's happened a couple of times now. I've seen like new names come in, and it's like, I'd play them and I'll be like, I'd smash them or whatever. It's like first time they're dueling or whatever. I'm like, and then you come back like you haven't played them for a while. You play a year later, and you're like, oh god, they're getting really good. And then you play them again 6 months later, and they absolutely smash you. And it's such a weird feeling, but honestly, I just love to, I don't play as much as I'd like to nowadays, but I like to try and introduce new players. It's honestly the thing I enjoy most about Quake right now, is just trying to help out new players. I've had a couple of new players just recently, get in touch saying, hey, they want to start playing Quake, and so I'll run them through, even if it's just a private session or whatever. Just spend half an hour, just showing on the basics and trying to arrange some matches for them. And yeah, it's it's a small community, and we want to sort of try and get as many people into it. And if spending half an hour with them, so eventually they get way better than you, is what you have to do, then you do what you have to do, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's also the best way to introduce Quake, because that current player base is like everyone has been playing for years, so it's nice to have someone coaching you and get you through the first horrible
exactly.
matches.
I think especially down in Australia and New Zealand and all that, in the Asian regions, it can be, you can't really just queue. Like, I don't know how it is in like America and in Europe, but like we can't just queue like deathmatch and stuff. Like, you pretty much have to now arrange games to play with people. There's no quick play matches ever happen. So a lot of players, like, they'll say, hey, I've just never been able to find a match. I've never played with anyone before. They've just played against the bots.
Yeah.
So
like
I think that's the biggest hurdle for a lot of players here. For a lot of new players here, I should say.
Yeah. Well, in Europe and you still get like the matchmaking works pretty well. To a certain level. Like, if you're a beginner, your first 10 matches will be
you'll still have the same
learning experience.
Yeah, you're gonna have that time, and you're gonna get smashed for the first 20 hours. And then finally, once you start getting to a hang of it, you might pick up a few things. But that's Quake, and that's why we love it. Right?
Well, yeah, it's until you hit that first midair. That's the greatest feeling. You feel like a god, and
that's when you truly become a Quake player. When you hit some like nasty middies or something like that, or that perfect rocket to rail combo, something like that.
Haymo was starting his Quake, and as soon as he's in the lobby, we are able to get going. Of course it's dual, so we'll also have picks and bans and stuff.
Yes, so let's check out what they're up to. Have they started them? They have.
Okay.
Interesting map pull here. Insomnia immediately to bring us. So when it came to our map pool, we just put it down to a vote. Everyone who signed up to the league, they all just, we got a vote on any maps. So it was just between all the dual maps that are available, and these were the top maps that were decided on. Interestingly enough, the one that actually got left out was probably the classic Aussie map of Woken, which literally everyone plays in every set ever. So, the Insomnia, we're getting brought back into the map pool. And then moving to Molten Falls and Corrupted Keep.
Yeah,
It's actually Lucky's pick here on Insomnia.
Anarchy,
How does Insomnia play out on in the Europeans? So, like, do they still play it at all, or is it?
In some tournaments there is definitely being used, and Eisen is a strong champion. But yeah, I'm curious about Anarchy. Like you would also see Death Knight like as first pick sometimes, because like you can zone like the Mega Health.
Yeah, it's definitely a map that's got a lot of these sort of like small choke points where Death Knight really can that flame can block off a lot of these small little narrow passageways, or which as you said, we don't see. I have seen Anarchy work on this map before. I've seen a few players pick it before, and if you've got the movement to get around, you can cross that map so quick, which I think is one of the advantages of why I think we see Lucky here picking the Anarchy. I know he likes his faster champions, likes a bit of the extra movement. That paired along with his ridiculous aim could cause some trouble for Haymo. Hopefully the turret is enough to sort of disrupt his ability to get around the map and potentially just sort of throw Haymo off with timing wise, and just sort of, it's going to keep him on his toes basically is what's going to happen here. So I hope the turret is going to offer him enough protection from the speed of the Anarchy.
Yeah, and how's Haymo's form? Is he grinded?
I haven't seen him playing very much. Haymo is one of those players. He's always going to be good. He's a pretty consistent player. I feel when he wants to be. So I think he's going to have. He's not going to have just like he's not going to flop this. I don't reckon. But I reckon Lucky might have the edge over him on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I believe. As Haymo hasn't been playing. Haymo's probably spent twice as much time, 3 times as much time preparing for the organizing the tournament than he has actually like prepping for it. So
yeah, it's a lot of work. Everything like also here at the KeenCon, like Maxter is playing, but is also managing stuff behind the scenes.
Always a shout out to someone if you manage to play at a high, especially if you're playing at a high level, like these guys are the top tier players, and they also manage to manage things in the background. It's impressive to be able to stay focused on your game while also in the back of your mind thinking, I've got to get this organized, I've got to prepare this, prepare that.
And how are the team modes? Because like I've been playing pretty much only Sacrifice these days. And I have like Sacrifice Monday on the Discord, and there is like every Monday there's like 35 people playing Sacrifice, and we have like a bot that equalizes the teams a bit, so we have like 3 parties going pretty much every time. For
that would be the dream here. I think there's so many players who would love it. We do try and run. Like we might once a month or every couple of months we might set up a thing where just once a week we'll do. Maybe just TDMs or something, or some sort of matches just to get some games going, so that those, just those who are maybe have to play a little bit more casually can get some games going. Because it can be difficult to, as I say, to find matches with pretty much the way we have. You can only really do duel, right? You PM someone, you're like, hey, you want to hit a few duels, and you go like that, or you join in the QUAKECHAMPIONS, the rank pod, and just queue some matches in that. But ideally, one day if we could, if we can get some more players coming into the scene, we can do the same sort of deal, right? Have a, a weekly, this night is to, we'll play some tournament, because a lot of players here, Sacrifice is great, a lot of players love it. It's such a fun mode. But just trying to find teams on a consistent basis is going to be your hardest problem.
Yeah, yeah. You have to have like yeah, well, at least 8 that consistently show up, and then then it goes.
And ideally, you have some sort of balance to your team, because we've done nights before where we've run these like team modes, but if you have if you can't quite balance the teams right, you get sometimes where it just sort of gets stomped by one team, and you can't really
it has
balance
to be
around.
Fun for everyone, so they join the next.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
We do have Haymo in menu, so invite is
Wonderful.
pending.
So that's so map picks are done. So let's quickly go over. That's the last maps we've got. So Molten Falls again, Athena here coming out from Lucky, speed, maneuverability, and Haymo Strog. It's a strong champion on every map. Big favorite, I think, for a lot of players. I think the movement advantage, honestly, I think the speed that Strog can give, plus that Destroyant is going to be might be enough edge for Haymo to take this, but that verticality from the Athena can be so strong on a map like Molten Falls, especially in Blood Cup maps like that. And then final map, if need be, Corrupted to Keep. Interesting from Haymo bringing out Visor on CK. Not something you see that often, but Lucky does ban the BJ. And then Lucky himself bringing out Death Knight, which, again, not a bad pick here on this map either.
Well, should I select the KingCon server? It's 1 MS for me.
You might be right. I'm not sure how these guys will feel about it. Let me just check what.
No, they are playing on Sydney. So let's see, where is Sydney? It's Apex South.
Correct. Yes.
308 ping. I am glad I'm only the spectator.
So we, on average, you can get the thing with Australian servers, man, is you get players in the same country who'll get 2 ping to the server, and then you get like 55 ping to the same server. Because unfortunately, we don't have, unlike America, we don't have central, east and west coasts and all that. All right, and we're launching off for the first matchup of the tournament. I'm excited.
Okay, nice. I still have hair, but I'll keep this on. Oh, that was Suit and Lycovinus behind me, getting some water. I have the water stash.
You're rationing it out for everyone, are you, for the day?
Let's go.
Okay, kick us off. Let's start with Lucky. I want to see how he goes with this Anarchy.
Okay, yeah, chat, let me know how the audio levels are.
Prepare to fight.
It sounds good on my end, so...
Round begins in 3, 2,
on Lucky.
1.
And the GLHF's thrown out in chat. Let's kick us off this first match. Lucky getting this rocket spawn straight onto Mega. And doing a good job just picking up all these necessities from him. Does leave that extra armor there in case he does take a fight here with Haymo. We'll have Inject as well. Mr. Rail coming in from Haymo, and another one. Lucky catches whiff of him, both players trading rails. This is why he left that 50 shot up. Inject out as well. Great way to immediately bring back his stack to such a high level after taking that rail. A little bit of advantage here over Haymo.
Yeah,
Heavy's now up, and Haymo with the high ground. Drops down.
Impressive.
yeah,
Nice
Barrett
return
is
rail
on the
there.
Mega Health. Let's see if that's posing a problem. No, it's dealt with professionally.
Haymo does get a bit of damage off on that. Like, Lucky with no overstack here. That rail potentially just saved him. Haymo was, I think, looking to push in for that fight. And again, both players not wanting to over-aggress here and make that first mistake, but Haymo, pushing in great initial rocket there. I don't know how to do so much damage around the corner, and Lucky's got to get back out of here. One rail and he's gone.
Yeah, pressures up his Inject. But yeah, he had to let the Heavy go, and similar situation. The turret's there.
Yeah, Haymo keeping that turret in that center position. It gives him good intel around the map. If Lucky tries to go up that bounce pad, that turret's always going to be there to contest with.
Okay,
And
yeah, that's...
nice movement from Anarchy. Risky play for anyone else, but I think having the air movement means that, yeah, he can get up to this high ground position above Heavy safely.
Yeah, he still had to execute it under pressure.
Yeah, he did it well, but Haymo's sneaking in underneath, and oh, he's actually gonna be ready for it. And
No, he
lucky
does
you're only on one
damage,
stack,
and
Haymo.
I think it will be his death.
That is the worst case scenario there for Haymo. That rocket that he launched on himself. Not jumping to get out there, the turret coming out as well. He's seen that jump. A couple little crucial mistakes here. The turret does get a bit of damage off, and Haymo is just running. Fortunately for him, Lucky did run out of rockets in that fight, so he wasn't really able to continue aggressing. And not on the right side of the map either here. So is he going to run over and get rockets now, or does he want to keep... Because this Heavy is coming up in a couple of seconds. Haymo's already there. LG is really strong. The new LG is so powerful. You've got to be so careful. You can't jump on a jump pad like that. Yeah. Especially against a player like Lucky. I was saying before, he's got such strong LG. Like right now, he's only hitting... I don't say only 40%. He's hitting 40% LG. You know, that's a crazy amount, especially with that little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, and it's not only the LG. Like the machine gun and the heavy machine gun have... basically no spread anymore, so it also hits like a truck.
Right now, Lucky's just doing a good job of just sort of keeping Haymo stacked, and as I say that though, nice rail coming from Haymo. This is good push in with the LG, but he's falling back. Inject coming out. Will Haymo try and fight for this? He should get this kill here. He does, and moments two before Heavy pickup. There we go.
Yeah, a little bit
Haymo's on the
weak
board.
on the health side, but yeah, the Heavy will recover him nicely.
So nice rail. I think he's just trying to like play around this side of the map here too, so he doesn't want to let Lucky get any armor. And right now he's gonna hear that. Yep. Lucky with the missed rocket. So missed rail, and Haymo, great pressure here, hitting all these shots. Not going to deny that armor still, but Heavy is up, and Lucky's trying to push in for it, but he can't be in this situation. He's got no health. Haymo missing that crucial route. That would have got the kill. That would have tied it back up. It doesn't matter. He's still got the items. He would have heard that pick up from beneath him. Yeah, Lucky. He is dead here. There is no way he gets away. Haymo missing the rail. Does he catch him? No, he hits the pole, and Lucky is so lucky to be alive here.
And he's so stacked that he can't deny any lights. So there is a lifeline for Lucky, especially now Haymo is... No, he's still adding the pressure. The rocket.
We say that. He just takes a big rocket and beautiful LG, and we tied back up 2-2, 4 minutes in. And great play from him. Oh, he's watching the angle perfectly. He switched his weapon just at the wrong time. It's alright, it's not mission critical for me. He gets back to the Heavy here. Let's jump pad. Oh, the turret too. Great position. That's what I was saying about the turret before. He leaves it in that center position, and the LG is strong, and it will clean that kill up.
Yeah. Frustrating position, and I think he's going to plant it at the same spot again.
Yeah, he's just going to leave it in this spot, and we've seen already, right, how much of that has worked, right? Every time Lucky's tried to go for the Mega, he's taken maybe 45 damage from it, and it stops him from using that jump pad, which is the most crucial part. If he wants to get up there, he's got to give away his position by shooting. Haymo pushing him, LG is good. Lucky does steal it, but still, it's 4-2 up for Haymo right now. And again, great play from him. He's watching the armor. He knows exactly where Lucky's going to go.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, 2 items going to Lucky, but Haymo still walking away with the frag, and he's not that weak anyway.
Yeah, Haymo 2-4 up, so he's in the right position, and he's on the right item. That's the thing here. He's got position on this Heavy, and I don't think Lucky's going to really be able to show up for it. He's up on the high ground. Maybe get a bit of fadeaway damage, but no, he doesn't even want to peek that. Damage from up top, Tribolt not really connecting. Question is, can Haymo do anything about this Mega? That Tribolt, he knows where he is. Good Tribolt follow-up as well. Great rail. Lucky leaving that major item up. Good rocket to engage in, and the LG is strong. Lucky surviving barely, and using Inject in that fight.
That was probably why he survived, but that's also that he's now weak. He has the speed though, and...
He has done a really good job. Like, look at this. He's already got Inject effectively back up. That was a really good job from Lucky, cycling all of those time vials. I think Haymo should be probably throwing down his turret more here and being able to deny some of these time vials, because that Inject is such a strong lifeline for Anarchy. Using this Inject here means he can push out here without being railable, gets Mega.
I would stick with the Tribolt. He switches again, but that was some consistent damage, but as soon as he switched to the rocket launcher, he did nothing. So another Heavy to Haymo. Light
He sort of
to
gives,
Lucky.
yeah, he sort of gave that because he sort of had Haymo sort of stuck in that side of the map there. He should have been able to get in position for that, but a little bit slow. Oh, almost nice rocket there. And again, a fight over this Mega. He's trying to cut him off, but the rails from both players are huge. Both of them down so low. Oh, the turret! It actually meant that Lucky jumped over the health bubble. The turret's still there. He knows where it is now, at least. But Haymo's done a much better job of stacking up, and he's just a bit slow though, and it means that Lucky will take that heavy.
Ooh, that rail though, and he was already jumping down. Oh,
yeah, and pushing in the LG, not enough. Lucky playing a really dangerous game here, and yeah, you can't push in like that. Didn't have the weaponry to take that fight, and Haymo punishes it properly, LG out, and followed up with a nice clean rail to take that frag.
Yeah, stack-wise it would be explainable, but yeah, the positioning of Haymo was a big advantage.
Also just came down to, Lucky was pushing in just with a railgun there, right? Like, I know he's got good aim. He's, he's the sort of player who sometimes could do things like that, but you never want to be relying purely just on on hitting rails at close range. And we're now with a great split on these items. 15 seconds between both. Rocket jumping up, take the high ground above, and yeah, Lucky, rightfully so, he's just kind of getting out of there. He knows he can't take this fight. No armor whatsoever. Oh, Haymo not hearing him behind him. I think he made a bit of a mistake too on these items. He had a good split there. Lucky probably will be taking this heavy though. Yeah, he does see it. And a bit of a messy fight there from Lucky. And Lucky's actually still opting to hang around here. He's on almost no health. And Haymo taking away, again, all of the armor here. Lucky does get that one shot over here, which put himself in such a risky spot. That rail though. That rail, huge! And oh, nice rocket again. Both players on next to no health. Who's going to be the one to peek out and make the mistake? And Haymo's, yeah, he's going to opt to fall back here. He knows Lucky's hanging around there. He knows how good his rail is. Haymo still needs health. Great fadeaway shot. And oh, what a play there by Haymo. I really like that. Having the turret there is a distraction, and just having that LG out of that range. I think Lucky was expecting him to have just left. And absolutely melts him. And again, same deal again. Lucky just jumps around these corners. And Haymo with the LG out, just doing a huge amount of damage. But these rockets coming out from Lucky, huge amount of damage. And Haymo's running for his life.
Yeah, I still think it's very hard with the amount of armor that is on this map and on which spots they are. If you're out of heavy control playing a light, it is a very hard map to get something done.
And we've seen so many times, right? Like, look again now, still, like, how long Lucky's sit there with no armor whatsoever. And that, yeah, brings it in the map. 7-3 by looks like it's going to end. And yeah, the speed from the Anarchy just didn't really work out for him. And, like, that's what Haymo's done really well, I think, on this matchup, right? He's listened out for that Anarchy. He's sat in these positions where he can just have LG out. And as Lucky drops around that corner, the amount of LG he just hits, like, he's only hit like 33%, right? It's solid LG. But, it's not a crazy amount. But it's just when Lucky pushes around these corners, he gets hit by so much so quickly, and it just melts him down.
And without any armor, it's gone in 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
But yeah, this was map 1.
Yeah, map 1 going the way of Haymo. As I said, like, I don't think Haymo's put as much practice as we would like, but Haymo is, you can never count Haymo out. He is one of those players who is always just going to be a consistently good player. Anyway, we've got Dazblock joining us now as well.
Good evening, gents. How's it going?
Good.
How are we, sir?
Pretty good. Apologies for the late join. Looks like an exciting map 1 there between Haymo and Lucky.
You are very low on my end, and you are already at 200%.
So sorry, I can't go any louder. These Razer headsets are horrible.
Alright, I'll lower myself a little bit.
I'll just be the quiet guy.
Alright, we'll just get you an invite real quick, Dasbok, and then we'll kick us off onto the next map.
Looking forward to this. It's been a long time with no Quake happening in Australia, so
Yeah, it feels like forever, doesn't it? And it's like we're finally back into it all, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
hell good to be back.
And it's
So-
good to see a good turnout again too. We've got four divisions again. So it's a solid showing. Like whenever these things go quiet between seasons, but as soon as the time the tournament comes back out, everyone comes back out of the woodwork and ready to play, ready to go.
You can step away from Quake, but you can never leave it, let's be honest.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So, Molten Falls, Haymo's pick on the map, so obviously going into this he's going to be feeling quite good about himself after taking Lucky's pick away from him. Interesting choices on the champs from both of them as well. Haymo on Strog and Lucky on the Athena, so we've got two fast-paced champs on quite a spread-out map.
Yeah, I'll say Strog is we see Strog pretty common on this map. Athena, maybe not quite as much, but I've seen that Athena can work really, really well on this map, right? There's a lot of spots where you can do some fun with Athena.
Used to be a lot more common back in the day, she did.
Yeah,
Obviously
definitely.
not as common of a pick now. I remember we've seen guys like, forgetting the names right now, but there's a few Australian Quake players who used it to quite good effect on this map. And we're starting with Lucky first, are we?
And he's just holding his high ground. The position right where Athena's going to have the advantage, right? And crossing these center parts here with so much ease. And one of the most powerful things I think that's sort of a bit underestimated about Athena is just the ability to deny these items. But yeah, Lucky pushing in there. Again, didn't have the weapons to take that fight. No LG, and Haymo's just pushing in. Great use of the hook to get away from these fights. And Haymo's just continuing to push. This is maybe getting a bit aggressive from him. And actually, it's sort of cost him this heavy here. And even though Haymo was the one on the aggression there and getting the damage out, Lucky's come out pretty good. And Haymo now pushing up a jump pad with LG, and look at that.
The power of that
Clean kill.
new LG. Right.
You've got to be
there.
so respectful of that new LG. You cannot push up a jump pad in that way, just like that. And mind you, though, Haymo, wow, that was one LG tick from death there from Lucky, and you're gonna have to be really careful here. If Haymo's here with, yeah, exactly. Look at it. Haymo just pushing with LG, and there's no way Lucky survives this and gets this mega out free. Fortunately, Haymo doesn't have a rail.
The map traversal speed from Lucky here, it's the real power of Athena, pins Haymo, and the giving with the rocket just for good measure.
And Haymo's just been extremely aggressive here. And look at that. Oh, great rocket. So I was about to say there's a ring out, but no, the hook's still there. So far, what we've seen from Athena, this has been, and Lucky, this has been some great use of hooks and just pushing in. Again, look, the LG, look how strong this is. They try and push it in. Oh, the Pika coming in from behind, hits in the back, and that's a kill there. The Destroyant, who's him with that little bit of extra health.
And that's the hard part about playing Athena as well. You have absolutely nothing off of spawn. You take any damage and you're going to be a lot not as well equipped as even a medium. So
yeah, any light is so hard to play off. You know, if you're out of control, you've got to be so careful. And wow, I didn't even realize he was available. And yeah, exactly. Like, look at the little stack he spawns with right now. So if Haymo can start controlling these armors, sort of like he was pretty much in control of the armor last map as well. And I think that's probably what won in the match, honestly. There were so many fights where Lucky was just spending so much time without any armor to his name whatsoever. And yeah, you look at that immediate deny of the armor. Haymo needs to get back to this heavy though. He cannot let Lucky take this, and yeah, Lucky's not going to push in. Doesn't have a big enough stack. Now Haymo with a huge stack and that missed rail. Not a huge amount of damage, but certainly enough if Haymo wanted to take a fight there. I think he could have. But again,
Lucky's just out of there.
Yeah, and great rail there. Question is, how can Haymo catch Lucky off now with the speed Lucky's at? Is Lucky going to walk straight into this rail? Yes, missed rail. And I don't hate the fact that Haymo just leaves here, right? He could push in there. He could push into that LG and take like 200 damage, then probably lose out on Mega due to spawns. Instead, he opts to just get the damage. He falls back, and now he's just going to keep this control. And look at the stack difference right now. It's monstrous. And especially the fact that if he gets the kill, right? He gets all that rail from behind. Beautiful shot. That was almost a ringer. I was scared for a second. And a second one as well.
Yeah. Lucky's really just dancing around the start and stack at the moment. Whilst Haymo pretty much can do whatever he wants. The LG's come out.
That being said, though, Lucky hitting those 3 rails back to back now is just crippled Haymo. If Haymo takes one more, that's it. He's now railable. And that's all it takes, right?
Fall back on.
Finally hits one back of himself, but hasn't really done anything because Lucky immediately just picks up that heavy. Haymo needing this armor. Love the pre-fire from the LG there. It just sort of warns, you know, Lucky not to push around this corner. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to fight. Even though he doesn't have much ammo, lovely rocket to push him off. Does get a bit of a punish there on that Mega pickup.
Oh, nice rocket. And coming out of that, Haymo is in the better position, even though he didn't get any of the major items in the last 30 seconds. He's come out of this in a much better position than Lucky has.
He did enough damage just to chip off all of Lucky's armor, and then taking the the rail armor, followed by the heavy, and Lucky's just picked up this armor. There's no more armor on the map now for another like 20 seconds. So if Lucky takes any damage like that, there you go, there's already half his armor gone. He needs
Half
to
his
play this
armor, a
fast.
good chunk of health.
And we just see this getting back into the same rotation now where Haymo's going to want to start just recycling these items again. He's 1 kill behind, but look, there's heaps of time. 5 minutes. You can make anything happen in that time.
5 minutes, 1 frag in it. The game's barely started at this rate.
Effectively just start us off from the beginning again. You know, there's no difference.
And,
oh, Haymo. Lovely play there to drop down and take that rail. There is the armor shard there for Lucky, but again, that's the situation now. If he takes damage, there is no more armor.
Score-wise, well, rockets exchange and just a drive-by from Lucky there. What I was going to say is, okay, yes, 1 more frag is going to basically reset the scores, but it's not going to reset the actual map. Lucky is still going to have a much harder uphill battle, even if things can get back to 4-4.
I think even from the champ picks to begin with, right, it was difficult for Lucky because the advantage that the Athena has with speed, great rail, but unfortunately Heavy's going to be right there. Is Lucky going to be able to get up top and potentially do some damage here to Haymo? Nah. Going to just opt to stay down. Haymo is not great on stack here either. Lucky still sitting on 25 health. Needs to get some bubbles. There we go. There's a couple from the railgun room. But yeah, the speed that Strog has, it sort of, you know, it's almost negates some of the bigger part of the advantages you get from the Athena. And I think Lucky just hasn't, maybe not been quite prepared for some of the speed, you know, how quickly Haymo is getting to some of these spots.
It's getting there just as quickly as you'd expect a Slash or an Athena.
Exactly, yeah. That advantage is sort of just negated, so it's just sort of the vertical advantage you're getting from Lucky, which hasn't really come into play.
And just this chip damage is stopping a lot of Lucky's progress here, so he's not able to bring it back to that even footing. All that work that he'd put in there, just gone. Haymo's denying all the armors again.
Haymo's chase, and Lucky's literally on 1 HP, but he goes the most overkill way possible and hits the direct.
There we are, 4-all.
And immediately denied all the armor too. So now there is nothing for Lucky for about 15 seconds. So this is, again, the situation of he's got to play passive now.
Yep.
How can he sort of break this level of... We saw it before, right? Haymo was just running this cycle. He hit 4 perfect rails without taking any damage in return. That's how he got back into it. Lucky needs to do something similar again. Set up a nice trap. Listen out for Haymo.
See what happens here.
Now, Lucky will have heard that. Needs to just get out of here. You cannot hang around.
That devastating LG fire, though.
There's not much going to be over this side of the map either for you, Lucky, so you got to keep running.
1 second too long in the wrong place, and any stack that you've built is just getting melted away at the moment.
Alright, Haymo, this is his chance. He's opting to go for the kill here, and yeah, I think this is a great push. Does push into Lucky's LG, takes a lot of damage in return. But look at this, playing around these items perfectly, knows exactly when this item's up. Not going to opt to hang around for that fight because needs to get to this heavy in time. Doesn't want Lucky to steal this, which he's actually going to be able to. And Gonna hook out of here probably. Yeah, there we go, but takes a huge amount of damage on the way out. And with that, let's push in. LG out. Perfect damage. And Haymo taking a solid lead here. And this is when it gets really, really dicey, right? Like, again, look, there's all the armor just gone, and Lucky's just taking the rail. I've said, you know, we keep going on about it, but it is literally the most dominating factor right now of this matchup. This whole set so far has just been the armor game, right? Like, that's pretty much what's been winning these matches for Haymo, and the fake plays. Who's gonna? Oh, read it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, you can make as many arguments as you want of new LG is too powerful, you know, blah 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 weapon changes of unbalanced things against Lucky. No, this has all been armor. This has
been Haymo playing this smart.
Yeah, classic Quake.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know, like, it's not like we're not talking like a massive difference denying some armor there, nice to see, but he's actually denied it before, and Lucky's stolen position in the time he's done it, so he's lost out on the major item, and actually, though, it might not matter because one rail here, Lucky's gonna die, that's one, and again, 1 HP direct, and yeah, the GG's comes out from Lucky there, 8-4 with Haymo, and really, really, just a really strong showing from Haymo, honestly, just a great game of Quake, right? He's just played the fundamentals really well. It's not like, you know, Haymo was out aiming, you know, Lucky 10-1 or something, you know, it's nothing like that. It was just played smarter, both players hit as hard as each other, and then it comes down to an item game.
I just discovered a new bug in Quake Champions then. My scorecard was showing 4-all at the GGs from Lucky.
Yeah, but for some reason the player who quits, then their name gets shown twice.
No, it was showing the correct names. It was just not going past 4-all.
Mine was showing Lucky v Lucky at 4-4. That's a bug that I get all the time. But anyway, yeah, it's, you know. And actually, looking at the scorecard here, look, that felt like it was a pure Haymo game. But, like, while the Megas were all in Haymo's favor, Armors actually did, you know, were pretty even. But it didn't feel like it at all, that whole match. Like, it felt like Lucky had nothing all game. I think it was because every time he wasn't
able to get them clean. He wasn't able to get a heavy armor, small armors, or the Megas clean whatsoever.
Yeah, every time he picked him up, there was immediately a rail or 50 LG damage, right? And it took off just majority of what he just got. So it felt like the entire time he was playing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, Haymo was there to make sure that he stayed playing stock Quake 3, Quake Live starting stack.
And that's the thing, right? Haymo's a veteran player, right? He's been playing for a long time. Whereas Lucky's a very new player, so I think it just comes down to, you know, experience from that one, right? Like,
yeah. So was that our second game of the night? I believe it was.
That was our second. So yes, that's the first victory going towards to Haymo.
And is that Haymo's first match of the split, or is have we had some history on him, or is this his first decisive win?
That's a very
good of me
question.
To come in with a lot of research on our players, isn't it?
You're coming in with the hard-hitting questions, making sure we know what we're talking about as well. You know, it's just as important.
Yeah, I know the answer. I just want to make sure you're on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You should only ask questions where you know the answer to.
Exactly. Makes sense. Smart.
Exactly.
That's the smart thing.
That was Haymo's first, at least first recorded match. If it was played in the others, someone didn't put scores in. So
as we wait for the next match to get ready, Rob, how's Barcelona at the moment, mate?
Barcelona is awesome.
I've been following some of the coverage. It looks like you guys are having a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, that is the greatest thing about LANs. Like you see people in real life and get to hang out.
Yeah, and especially you get to yell on it as well, right, Fuzzy?
Yeah.
Exactly. So what time is it for you right now, Rob? Because I've been watching a little bit of the coverage. That's because of Barcelona. That's because I've been staying up way too late.
Currently it's 10:14 a.m. So 10:14 in the morning.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay.
Yeah, like, and today it's like it's a 12-hour show. So if you guys are staying up, respect.
Oh, that means you're going to be on the clock for at least 13 hours then.
Yeah, but I'm not involved in the production today, so I'll get to cheer them on from the sidelines.
You get to just enjoy it for once, rather than having to do all the hard work in the
Indeed.
background.
Yeah. Yeah, like they have
If we-
lethal, suit, inch, like they are a great pair of casters, and Lycoviner is doing the interviews. So I'm just managing chat a bit and make sure I'm hydrated enough.
Speaking of hydration, we'll know if we start hearing you yelling from the sidelines in the broadcast that you've let your inner Aussie out, mate.
Yeah, and indeed, the Eldaro. Yeah, I'm not able to do the predictions right now, and I can also not make anyone mod on the King Kong channel, so they have to do. They have to kick their gambling habits for at least a few hours, because I'm hanging out with other cool people.
So, who's the next match we got going, Fuzzy?
So our next matchup is Knight versus Lua.
Yeah. Has Lure changed his in-game name? Or is it
No,
still
he is very
Lure?
much still.
I believe it is still Lua. Or is
Okay,
it...
he's,
Yeah, no, just Lua.
Can someone
He's not on
wake
the
him up?
moment.
He was in the chat, I think.
Come on, Lua, where are you, man? Watching the games, but not ready to play. Alright, we'll go yell at him now real quick and we'll arrange this.
So, speaking of lands, Fuzzy,
Yes.
anything you want to talk about live?
Well, we did start quickly, just go over what the plan, what's going to be happening for this season. But yes, so we do have, again, for anyone who's tuned in afterwards, we have got a LAN finals happening for our Jewel Cup. Going to be at Fortress in Melbourne again. Great venue.
Such a great venue. Such
yeah,
nice people there as well.
Yeah, everyone there who runs it. Fantastic. They've been super great to work with. And again, big shout out to them for helping us arrange all this, and for them doing their grassroots systems, which has allowed us to do this LAN, because otherwise it's expensive to run these tournaments, right? It's not a cheap thing to do. And we're having trouble getting in touch with Lua by the sound of it.
he just popped up online, so
He's jumping on. He's jumping on it.
He forgot he was playing. That's right. It's
Have we already had the pick bans completed for these two? Have we?
oh, let's check that out. And you might hear some Spanish, because the Spanish questions are behind you.
I'm sure they're not saying anything controversial at all.
No, they're just hyping up every strafe jump.
Sorry, if there's anyone in chat who can speak Spanish, they can translate anything they hear for us.
We do have our menu.
Here we are. Knight picking Veil first, then into Lua's Blood Covenant, no surprise there, and finishing off on Corrupted Keep if we need it. With Eisen versus Keel, a Nyx versus Athena, and a BJ versus Ranger. Actually looking pretty balanced to me.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty even set all round. I do like seeing Keel. I'm always a big fan of the heavies, even if they're not that great, but this is, I think, the one time where Keel is probably a good pick. Veil versus Eisen, I think, is really the only time anyone's ever going to pick him.
Let's be honest, Keel is an honorary medium, just with disadvantages now.
Hence why no one picks him. It's both these players, they're really experienced players. So I think that when it comes to champ picks, anyone here in Div 1, right? Like it's not going to come down to whether or not they can or can't play a certain champion. They've all got the experience and all, so.
I love Knight's cheekiness there. Are we playing on Sydney? Yep, until June, then it will be on LAN.
LAN, yeah.
Get ready for that 0 ping, guys. So going into this, Lure on Eisen, Knight on Keel. I've seen Lure playing an absolute ton recently. Haven't seen what form Knight's in, but I'm always seeing him queuing up in the queue. What do you think's going to happen?
Oh, it's going to be a hard one to judge. Honestly, I have to back the, you know, the previous season champ, you know. Knight took down Dan last season to win the last tourney, and it's... Right now, I think he's probably still the favorite to take down this set. I think if he can get control in this sort of like high ground position, Keel can be an absolute burden if you can land a few nades.
What a delay on that Mega from Lure there.
The nade not connecting with that turret, and it's still up, and oh, Knight's okay. This is not the start he wanted. He's just going to play quiet now, and yeah, he's sort of just throwing himself out of the map a little bit here. This is a bad start for Knight. Lure's going to steal the time, and I think, yeah, Knight doesn't know the time on this. He has got this great use of the nades, rockets. He can sort of try and push Lure out of the spot. LG coming out, great damage. But there's still 2 more seconds for this, and oh, he actually managed to steal that. He did enough damage on Lure pushing through that corridor that allowed him to take the Mega.
I was
and
not
keep high
expecting
ground.
to see Lure pushed off so easily, to be honest. That was...
Well, I think
Lure
that's
was
the
having a
strong
real
thing
hard
of Keel,
time.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's risky to push through a small choke when you've got rockets and nades both, you know, flying at your face.
High
And-
ground really benefits Keel here on Veil, the verticality working within his favour.
Yeah, and Knight now he's going to start this this cycle, and look at the stack. It's huge. Lure needs to get chip damage off before taking a fight. You're gonna have heard that, so he's going to know where. Might be catch out. No, but Knight. He's not going to hang around long enough.
Yeah, such a strong start from Lure. It's so interesting to see that he's forced to the secondary areas of the map now.
Yeah, I think it's just that one little mistake, right? And that was enough to. And he's got caught out with Tribot here, and
Wasn't even
now
a
this
mistake, it was
should
just-
go Knight's way. Yeah, it just came down to the bigger stack that Knight had. Drops down, even get the 25, gets that little bit of extra stack. These small little optimizations that, you know, these top players make. And now back on a great stack to fight for this next heavy. Straight to high ground.
It's interesting to see how slow of a Veil game this is starting out as. Normally on Veil, even at this skill level, you see quite an explosive start. Whilst we've seen plenty of damage get exchanged here. Lure gets himself that Mega health back. But Knight's going to know the timing of that now. Grenades come in. Cheeky
It's a
rockets
dangerous
enough
spot to
push.
stand in there. Yeah, Knight sort of has to just fall back into the turret. Yeah, he knows it's there.
And Knight knows exactly where he is. Aggressive push, but so much damage.
And that's the thing with Keel, right? Look at that. He hit 150 damage in less than a second. It's so much damage output so quickly. At least, I guess, in a win here for Knight is he does get the Mega based off the spawn here. Knight was just probably a little bit too low to try and push in and take that fight.
And Lure setting himself up really nicely for the heavy as well. Knight's moving away from there. Not really going to be able to contest for it. And that is now Lure's heavy, but ton of damage coming out. And Lure now trapped in that connecting corridor.
And this is an exact repeat of the start of the map again, right? Like, Lure gets that great play to begin with, but then all it takes is Knight just to get like one nice little combo there. Good rocket nade, a rail, anything like that. And he just spins it straight back around, and immediately now control's gone back in the favor of Knight. He's in position for this next item. Doesn't quite get the rail off. Oh, beautiful Tribot though, and Lure. Crippled. Yeah, beautiful. He's rocket jumping up. He wants to take this fight. Just trying to listen out now. Hopefully catch Lure off. Lure's just waiting for these armors, and he can't hang around. Lucky for him, he gets moving.
Ooh. Little bit of chip damage is enough to make sure Knight doesn't push in there.
But as soon as he picks up that Mega, he wants to take that fight. Oh, just missing that rail. If he hit that rail, he was 100% pushing that. He was going to go for that kill. But it doesn't matter. Each time he goes for these fights, he knows he's got an item behind him. So he can take it. If he fails, you know, if he takes a bad rocket, if he misses some damage, he can then just rely on those items he's got at his back, ready to go. Mr. from Knight.
Wouldn't have helped too much, just the massive stack that Knight's
Yeah,
got there at the moment.
And he had that item there behind him. Lua needs to try and take a situation where he can take a fight, you know, after one of these items comes up. Here we go, taking a bit of a fight here, gets the first bit of damage off, LG out. Problem is, he does hit great damage, but he just didn't have enough stack. That's the
Okay,
thing, right?
look at the final stack after that fight as well.
Yeah.
Knight was still so healthy that he didn't have to worry about a counter from Lua there at all.
Yeah, all it took was a couple of little bubbles there, and he's going to keep pushing in. He knows that he doesn't have the weapons to fight this. And yeah, beautiful rock rail combo. Knight cleaning up another frag. And right now, this is starting to look a bit scary for Lua. He's just not able to push into any of these situations. And again, the LG fight comes out. Both players hitting really good LG. Like, Lua's hitting 42%, right? They're both hitting 42%, in fact. It just comes down to the fact that Knight's going into these fights with, you know, 100 more stack.
Yeah, I wouldn't even argue that Knight has the better control. Like, obviously he's got better control, but it's not Haymo levels of oppressive control that we were seeing previous match.
Well, Lua has taken, right, Lua's had situations where he's been in control of the map.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is Knight is doing such a good job of getting that damage off in the right situation, right? He gets the item, and then after he's leaving, that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Knight is getting the damage after Lua takes the item and is trying to leave, whereas Lua is hitting the damage before Knight picks up the item. That's the biggest difference between the two situations right now for these guys.
And just that damage placement, it's the right damage at the right time.
Yeah.
In the right location. It's not damage for damage's sake where you can give up a small armor, it's damage that cripples.
Yeah, and again, you know, it's pushing into a non-favorable position, but because Knight's stack is just so much higher, it doesn't matter. You know, he's going to get that frag 100 times out of 100. Trying to rocket jump up, doesn't actually make it. I don't know if the nail's enough to push him back. And that would actually mean that Lua gets this item now. Even with that, stacks. Oh, that LG though there from Lua, so good. There we go, finally.
Lua back in the game.
He's got on the board. Can he chain this together with something is the question now. And oh, what a sneaky spot there from Knight. Lua had no idea. He just had no idea.
Who looks there?
Exactly. Well, that's, you know, exactly good question. No one does. That's the thing. He didn't even think there was Knight was potentially going to be there. And I think just because he's got such a big stack off spawn, he can do, you know, maybe some of those little cheeky. It's not going to work ever again, right? But
he went for the cheeky midi there. Didn't make it connect.
Hey, you've got to go for it, you know.
It'll
go
make
for the highlight reel plays.
It'll make you think twice before you jump out in the middle of the air.
And I think, yeah, at this point with 9-1, 2.5 minutes to go, is there any way?
Yeah, I mean,
Lua
it's
can bring
veiled.
this back?
It's veiled. We've seen this kind of deficit be made up before. Is Lua going to be the one to do it? Probably not.
I think it also comes down to the fact that Knight is also playing the heavy champ, right? Like, and that champ being killed too, even if he doesn't get any weapons off spawn, he's still got those nades, right? If he hits all three of those nades, that's 150 damage with just nades alone.
Knight hasn't stopped playing yet as well. He's not going for those highlight reel kills. He's not easing off on the items. He's not easing off on his control.
Well, Knight is one of those players who he is such a consistently, like, he will play his game the entire way through. You know, he doesn't make that many mistakes.
And this is where Lua's going to have to be a bit more desperate. This is the lowest I've seen Knight in a while, and it's still not enough for Lua to be able to convert that into anything meaningful on the scoreboard.
And look, it may have looked like a bit of a scrappy, like, just rushing attempt there, but like Lua made the right play there. He had to go in. He had to try and get that frag. Once you get to this point in the game, you know,
1 minute 15 seconds left on the clock.
Just you got to just go for a play, and you know, if it works out, you know, as again, it might be one of those like 1 in 1,000, right? You might only win, you might do it, you might only get a comeback. Oh, nice shots there coming out from like launching Lua, flying through the teleporter, and again now just in this position. Lua knows he can't go through that TP again. There's not a chance. Knight won't allow it.
This championship's not decided on frags in a map.
Exactly. Yeah.
Might as well go for the plays. 30 seconds left. I know we like to say there's still time. There is not time. It's not.
No, we're looking into both players right now are looking into the Blood Covenant matchup, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to be a completely different game. We're going to go light v light.
Lewis checked out. Lewis thinking about Blood Covenant right now. He's going bridge to rail. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. And I know that Lua likes to play the Nyx, right? Like I've seen him play a lot of Nyx. He's really good on that champion. I think he's going to probably... It's, you know, this was Knight's map pick as well. I don't think Lua should be too, you know, disheartened on it. Honestly, the champ picks just worked out really well. You know, like, Keel can negate the advantage Eyes and Blue on this map so easily, but I don't think Lua should feel disheartened by this at all. I think he still played really well, and if he can keep playing like that even on the next map, it's probably going to be a lot closer.
At the end of the day, there was only at the end of the day, there was only 1,000 damage in it between the two of them, but that 1,000 damage was 8 frags.
Well, that's the thing with that big, you know, big chunky heavy, right? You can put a lot of damage into a heavy and not get that many kills out of it. Especially if that heavy is the one who's cleaning up all the items.
I'm going to be interested to see how Knight's Athena goes now. Like, we saw Lucky's Athena just before, and we could see that burst of speed, but Knight's one of those old hands who's been around through the different changes for Athena. We've seen games from him in the past where he's run Athena and just a speedy Yet's going around the map.
Yeah.
So coupled that with Lua's ability to just disappear at the push of a button. I think
this is one thing I think Athena is like that's I said the same thing in the matchup between Haymo and Lucky. Athena's able to take away a lot of these vials, right? And like Nyx is a character, if you need to start using that Ghost Walk a lot, there's not going to be vials around the map, right? Because you just hook through a line of vials and you've got that hook back. So you've just effectively denied it for free. So Lua's going to have to be really careful on how he's using these Ghost Walks, because he's not going to have them, you know, every 30 seconds or so like he'd probably want to.
My prediction, we're going to see Lua trying to play overall a bit more of a quieter game, a bit more pulled back, a bit more reserved, and we're going to see Knight trying to get up in the face and, you know, messing him up.
Yeah, I agree. Let's start on Lua and let's see what he can do with this Nyx, because you know, the pressure's on him right now.
Standard Mega Start.
He's gonna, yeah. Again, we saw Lua do this last time, try and delay that item a bit. Doesn't end up getting delayed quite as much, probably, as they'll, because, yeah, Knight, off his start, grab that extra armor shard before going towards the heavy.
Having said that, he's got timing on both items now.
Still needs to get to this rail, though. It's his biggest issue right now, because he knows that Knight's got the rail. And with Knight sort of sitting in the center position, and this is going to be his chance. Oh, that little mistake there in movement could cost him, but...
Yep, Knight knew
missing
exactly
that shot.
what was happening.
There's actually a free rail there for...
A lot of Tribolt damage. But Knight's going to head straight over for that Mega.
And I put in a little bit of extra delay on that too, so... Oh, I think he just got a glimpse of him. I think they know, yeah, both players know where the other one is. Good rocket there coming out from Knight.
Bit of COD timing affecting Lua there.
And Knight's going to want to push in there. He's got the much better stack for this fight. And yeah, he's opting to come in quick.
He's in the better position as well.
Oh, but he just drops down, doesn't actually check underneath. And the LG is really strong from Lua. And look at that. He picks up that first frag. And none of that picks up pretty clean as well. He's not going to get there in time to stop Knight getting the Mega, but might get a little bit of damage, not quite missing the rail. And, oh, Knight's pretty great use of the Ghost Walk there. Second he fell. I like how he didn't delay that. Didn't take too much damage.
And what did we say about the different playstyles? Knight's trying to get in his face, Lua's taking his time.
Yep. And that was two. None of that was like, that was off. Oh, great rail from Knight. Barely even saw him peek around the corner. And
that was Lua's pinky toe that received that rail there.
Yeah. And yeah, Lua, look at that. Really respecting Knight in that situation. I don't think Knight was even there yet, and just immediately just thought, nah, he knows there's a bit of time between the two items. Doesn't want to take any fight now for the next 9 seconds. And oh, wow, Knight hitting that a beautiful rocket, just hooking around the corner. And again, Lua's just going to hide for the next 1 second, gets the item, but Oh, don't pick. Oh, the timing on that. Knight was holding the angle.
Knight knew something was going to happen there.
The things you can see when you've got the X-ray on it, it's scary sometimes. And right now, Lua's playing this exactly how you predicted right at the start here, Dasbog. He's just playing it quiet.
The main problem Lua's got is he's completely out of control. He's got no real way of contesting anything at the moment, so he's just going to be consistently on the back foot.
Yeah. It's only now that they're able to finally get in and take a fight, and well, what a fight to take too. Like, not only is he taking the fight, it's before the heavy tap, and Knight's actually railable right now, and he misses that last shot. Unfortunately for him, but still, that's a win in Knight for Lewis. Sorry, in this situation, Lewis now got the heavy. Both items are pretty much synced, which is pretty much what Lua wants, because Knight had good control, and beautiful rocket doesn't quite get the ghost walk off the time. Missed her up from Lua, and he's got he can't hang around and fight this good little bit of nail. And Knight, he still just wants to fight, pushing in. Oh, interesting play there. He actually opts to push in, and both rails miss. Both players railable, and Lua is the one who does hit it.
That was with 10 HP left.
Hey, Lua has to be careful here still. Remember, Knight playing Athena is going to be so quick.
And you can just hear him just flying around the lower floors there.
But Lua again, he's just playing this quietly. He doesn't want to advance too far out into a situation when he doesn't have the Ghost Walk. Now the Ghost Walk is up, we'll probably be happy to take a fight again. Try and engage in this great rail. And, oh, Tri-Bolt direct there from Lua. Oh, nice shot.
And that's just enough to say, hey Knight, back off, this is my armor.
Yeah, the aggression that's coming in there from the missed Tri-Bolt jump.
Knight hearing that, making a prediction, getting some decent damage in.
Lua's just making these little mistakes here with the... that was such a risky play there. I think against somebody who doesn't have movement abilities, right, that could potentially work, but like Knight could have just hooked away immediately.
You still
I think
hear
Lua
the
pushing in with the wrong weapon right now is just what's cost him twice. These last two fights they've had, the proper engagements they've had, both times Lua pushed in with rail. And then as soon as one shot gets missed, that's it, the fight's over. And if Knight pushes, which Knight can do playing the Athena, he can just take down Lua immediately. Fortunately, has the Ghost Walk to sort of back out, and I'm guessing that's what he's sort of banking on. The fact that he can
8-9 seconds until that's back up for him. But Knight doesn't seem to be in too much of a rush, but he's going to have to pull his finger out and make something happen soon. He's still one frag down at the halfway mark of this match.
Yeah, this is definitely a map/champ combo you don't want to be down on when you start getting, to that 2-3 minute mark.
Stack is currently in his favour, but obviously he's going to have no clue that's the case. Now things are a bit more even.
So that armor shard sort of evens things up a bit. Oh, Lua, I like to try and push there with the... Oh my god, but the rail from Knight, that was fantastic. And quickly getting towards this heavy as well. Doesn't want to give Lua the chance to get that free stack, and we saw the hook. Perfect use, and that's exactly what we were thinking, but the LG doesn't connect. Lua takes it, and he's actually going to read this. Oh, that was a risky play there from Lua. Just opting to go for that armor straight away without even checking his surroundings.
The rail's been Lua's kryptonite on this map tonight. He's only hitting 26%. He's hit 4 of his 15 rails, whereas Knight's on 53%, hitting 8 of his 14. That's
still counting. Like, that was a beautiful shot there on Lua, and I love to see these graphic looks. And there you go, there's another one.
Where's my health been going? Have you looked at your opponent's railgun?
And there is no Ghost Walk up for another 10 seconds, so this is Knight's chance. I think he wants to keep pushing, but beautiful defensive rocket. Saved Lua's life there.
Knight just takes a Lua facial, and he has to back off.
That's gonna get clipped by someone. I'm gonna have to use that phrase now. Is gonna be put into a clip. You know that does, but yeah, in the next video.
Great. Both players backing off again.
Well, we're getting to this point now, right? We were just saying before. It's like you don't want to get down to the 2 minute mark with being a kill behind on a Nyx, because we've had a few close calls, but
Yeah. If
Ghost
Knight
Walk's always been their beautiful rail too, and Knight now railable.
if he wants to
dive
fight,
straight on
he's
the Knight.
going to have to make something happen.
And
Lua's going to make sure nothing happens. Although,
oh, what is this push in here though? This is so risky.
That missed rocket. Overconfidence. That was a unforced error, I believe we call it in the business.
Yeah, and it's such a messy situation right now. I think both players right now are sort of trying to just get their grounds, get you know, like rotation going again, something of a normal game going again. Because right now it's all over the place, and coming down now to the last 2 minutes of this match, 2-1 still. Ghostwalk coming back up now for Lua.
And I mean, with 2 minutes left on the clock, that Ghost Walk is pretty much all he needs to deny Knight another frag.
Yeah, so the question is, can Knight... Oh, great rail.
Railing.
If Lua can keep enough pressure on like this, it just prevents Knight from getting to that, like, you know, overwhelming stack advantage where he can just take these silly fights. And, like, right now, Lua's still with the much larger stack, and the question is, can Knight...
It was enough chip damage to deny Knight's confidence.
Exactly, and maybe that both of them. Okay, no, with that. Oh, interesting option there for Lua. Actually decides to just run to the other side of the map, which makes him take that rail, and maybe a bit of a misplay there potentially. But Knight
should have pushed in.
I think Knight. The problem with Knight, I don't think he wants to push in and make that mistake, which is going to, because if he goes down one frag here, it's over. One frag he can make something happen, but if he goes down one, if he goes 1-3, it's it. That's over. So, but right now with 45 seconds to go, and
we're into the dying seconds of the match.
He needs to get a frag in the next 10 seconds, or it's over. Because this, just because of this Ghost Walk alone. And he goes in for the push. Oh, great initial entry damage. He needs to keep pushing though. There's 30 seconds to go. Lua with no armor whatsoever, great defensive. He has to keep pushing though. There's no backing off here.
He's backed off though.
And that's it. That's game.
That's game.
Minusing Lua, forgetting about his ability, which, you know, he's played this perfectly so far on the Knicks. He's not going to do that. And
barring something that's going to make me yell out and wake up my daughter due to being loud,
which we wouldn't want to do. It's yeah. Takes the rail. Just pop the Ghost Walk. Yeah, he has popped the Ghost Walk, and ooh, that rocket actually just. I just like to say that rocket at the end there actually just saved Lua, because that stopped Knight from moving forwards. There was actually a chance of him tying that up on the last second.
It was just pure smart plays by Lua there. He played the passive game perfectly.
Yep.
Chip damage, backed away, broke the confidence on any push that Knight was able to even think about. Because you noticed it a few times. Knight got a little bit of damage, started pushing. Lua was able to come up with the defensive rockets. Even though his rail percentage wasn't that high, the rails connected when needed, or even that little bit of Hyper Blaster was just enough to make Knight go, okay, shit, I'm not going to do this right now, back off, and it protected his one frag lead.
And then even with, because in that match, like, Knight had the items, I think it just came down to Lua just played his champion perfectly in that situation, right? Like, he knows...
It's the defensive plays.
Yeah, and Nyx on that map is, you know, notorious. It might not be the most exciting game to play, but when you're playing at this sort of level, you know, you're playing to win. You know, it's, you know, there is money on the line, right? It's you're playing to. There's no.
Let's be honest. The most exciting part of Blood Covenant, right then for me, was saying words that I already regret saying.
Exactly right. It's already been clipped. So yeah, that's going to be the
corrupted keep.
This is going to be the exact opposite of what we just saw. So I'm glad we get to the third map here.
If we're not hitting 15 frags on one of the players here, then I'm calling shenanigans.
Yeah, they're playing the game wrong if that's the case.
BJ, Ranger, CK, give me your predictions, Fuzzy. What's happening this match? Previous two maps do not matter. Both players' confidence has been built up and shattered.
I find it really hard to give you an answer here after seeing them play. Honestly, I'd have to give it to Knight, I think.
CK does support a more aggressive playstyle.
I think Knight likes to play a bit more aggressive than what Lua does. And I think, you know, Knight in both maps now has done a better job sort of controlling the map. And I think now that Lured's not going to be able to play that same defensive
Hey,
playstyle
Rob,
with
can
Nick.
we see the game on stream, please, mate?
We don't need to see the game on stream. Our casting is so top tier that that's all they need. And holy, the
LG on LG comes out and Knight
Rival.
gets the first frag.
Yeah, Knight really good way, bad.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, that's already more frags than we saw in the first like 3 minutes of the previous map. So
30 seconds in.
yeah, Knight still hasn't got this rocket yet. Which there we go. Finally goes over.
I was half expecting him not to bother picking it up.
Right now,
No
though,
rocket damage is hitting. That tri-bolt
yeah.
damage from Lure is just absolutely, well, not devastating, but it's controlling where Knight can go.
But that is, though, another dual wield pop, though, from BJ, right? Like, he's already used 2 dual wields on this, and neither of them really got any advantage yet. So it's...
Neither have any advantage. Lure is in a fantastic position stack-wise.
Well,
I say if you just take 77 damage from Knight's tri-bolt.
And is he going to want to keep... Oh, that little corner there, it's such a dangerous spot to get stuck on, and...
Knight just getting tucked into the Gargoyle's armpit, going, hey, I need a hug.
And I love that distraction orb play. It's such a hard situation when you're on the receiving end of that. You've got to make the choice, right? Like, you have to just keep fighting because you don't know if they're going to come back up and take the orb, and it's... Yeah, Knight played it perfectly. Orb down. Didn't take it. Lure wasn't ready for it. Huge LG. Clean frag. And... Lure is... Sorry, Knight is just playing on this side of the map. You'll notice how he hasn't even bothered to sort of really... Since it's had control now, he hasn't bothered going over to the other side of the map because... While the heavies on that side, this map is such an LG, right? You know, you need LG, right, in this map. And
with the recent patch, the LG is even more important than it was previously.
And that's what Knight's game plan is, right? He doesn't want Lure, especially with the dual wield. Right? That's the most powerful, probably, tool on this map, is the dual wield LG. Another dual wield has been popped. Again, no value from it.
Wasted now, yeah.
Like, that's 3 dual wields, and he hasn't... I don't think Knight's even seen 2 of them.
We've just heard it.
Yeah, right now it's really just coming down to this, Lure hasn't had an LG since the start of the game, and Knight doesn't want to let him have one. And look at this, he's still just holding up on this side of the map, and 2-0 up. He knows when when Lure's on this side of the map, he can start making a little bit more aggressive plays, push in a little bit more. Drops down, over to the LG, and look how much stacked Lure is gone, melted immediately.
Lure was hoping for that mega to pop up there. It wasn't to be. Wasn't able to get his hands on the LG
Another
at all.
dual wield out, and Knight, he's got the LG, so he can opt to take that fight. You know, dual wield machine gun still not comparable to that singular LG. Especially when you're hitting as hard as
LG from Knight at the moment.
That is definitely part of
those rockets, mate. Those rockets.
Yeah, that's the play that Lure needed. He needed some just sort of like Hail Mary, I think, to get him into this. He's got the LG. Now he can sort of do the reverse play, right, of what Knight was doing. The question is, can Lure do it as good?
Oh, Knight's trying to get his hands on that coveted LG. He's not really able to make much inroads into the mega room at the moment. But Lure's got to be careful. He's only just gotten himself armored back up again. And Knight's going to know...
Here is Knight's doing this tri-bolt damage and just spam rocket damage from Knight. He's just... Lure spent that whole time stuck in that room just because that tri-bolt damage was just doing so much. And immediately, even after Lure tries to deny that LG, Knight, he's just taken that position again. And look at that. Wow, it's coming through the TP there. I think Knight realizes how much damage is done.
Knight's back up to essentially full stack. He's got the 2 small armors on his side, the mega, and there goes the deadly slipgate.
Yeah, and that's a 4th dual wield for nothing, effectively. Like, there's just been no value out of it. And the LG, huge 210 damage. Knight can pretty much just leave him here if he wanted to. Yeah, he does get that heavy, but again, Knight's playing the game right now that he wants to play.
Yeah, 5-1 at 4 minutes in. I'd say that Knight's just taken the lead now. We've broken out of a stalemate at 5-1. On CK, that's how it is.
Yeah, we could see these scores still balloon out a lot from here. It's, as we say, all it takes is that one little play. You know, we need Lure to get some nice rockets, get himself back into it, push in. He's got pretty much the free heavy, right? So it gives him a way to potentially get into these fights. But
he's just not wanting to let Lure pass the halfway mark on this map.
The problem is Knight on this side of the map has gotten, there's another dual wield, and look at that, immediately took almost a direct rocket, and he's gone
There's
now.
a more aggressive. Nope.
Knight has the 250 armor shells on his side of the map, and that's why he's just opting just to hang around there and deny the LG phase. Or the orb comes out too, and again, Lua having to try and decide what to do. Will still get this heavy, but doesn't have the health to back it up. A little bit of LG. And for the first time here, oh, great tribal. Yeah, Knight should push this in. He can get this kill here if he wants. There's still time for
The
him to...
screamings come out.
He doesn't want to leave his items up too much longer, because otherwise we're going to have enough split between to get to them. This could be his first chance to actually get a rotation of items going, if he's quick.
But he's just not. Too much respect for Knight. I mean, earned respect for Knight as well, but still, he doesn't push that room. He doesn't get himself an LG.
Look, it's good for Lua to survive there, and he survives on a good amount of stack as well, but this map is just too small to fight without this light gun. And right now, Lua is just stuck in these back corners of the map, and it's so frustrating for him in a situation like this, because every time he peeks, he takes so much tribal. Another jewel comes out, and Knight just walks away.
Wasted jewel. Was that an LG that came out, or was that a machine gun?
Just machine gun from Lua.
Just peppering Knight's ass with it.
Yeah.
Knight, another
good
fake
rockets.
out. Another fake out with the.
I love the rocket jump there from Knight. Just as soon as he starts getting into a bad position, just get out of there. He just leaves immediately. Such quick, instantaneous decision making, which you love to see. It's so important in the game, especially when you're playing a high stakes duel like this.
One of the
here we go.
advantages of the Ranger, Knight finally getting himself back on the scoreboard.
And more importantly, I feel, finally gets himself an LG, and dual wield LG comes out.
Dual wield LG is so deadly.
That's why you want it.
And
Look at how quickly that's coming back now, right? We're 2 quick frags for Lua. 3 minutes to go. What was looking so dire is now looking a lot more doable. The problem is, he's just given up that position still. And now Knight's got that LG again. It's interesting to see the different play style these two are having around this map, right? Where Lua, I think, was opting to try and get much more control. And look at that, you get caught out with the wrong gun.
Caught out with the wrong gun.
That's how deadly the LG is, right? It's so brutal. We keep talking about it, but it's just such a brutal gun now.
But having said that, that was a mid-range fight. That was only ever going to be mid-range fighting in there. Lua didn't have the upper ground. Why did he have the rocket launcher out?
Yeah.
Even just traversing through there, that was the wrong selection. So...
There have just been a few situations, I think, where Lua has just been caught out with the wrong weapon, or pushing into a situation with the wrong weapon, where Knight, he hasn't been caught out yet, I don't think, with the wrong weapon. Everything he's doing purely with intention. He knows exactly where he is, he knows exactly where his opponent is, and because of that, he's making these right decisions.
I mean, you could argue LG makes noise and he didn't want to give away position. But it's CK, you know where your opponent is 99% of the time.
Yeah,
Noise,
exactly right.
Your LG making a buzz is not going to be is not going to keep you alive or dead.
And I think Lua at this point, he's just trying to, he needs to just try and get something going, but with the stack he's left on, Knight's going to come and clean this up nice and easy.
Shaft straight down the back of the neck. And Knight is just starting to run away with this. Minute 15 left on the clock. I'm thinking we're gonna see Knight take away this win.
Yeah, no, I think there's
1 minute warning.
fire and miracle here for Lua. With the amount of chip damage that Knight's getting, the amount of pressure Knight keeps pushing on into these fights, and look at that, LG perfectly ready. He had the rocket out so he couldn't hear the LG buzz as you were talking about just before. And then just before Lua pushes around, stops that LG, and huge amount of damage, great strike bolt as well. And look at that, Lua turns immediately about faces, and he's gone.
Hey Lua, I don't want you anywhere near good weapons or items. Bugger off.
Yeah. And beautiful weapon choice there. The orb into the shotgun, and
any of us did that with the shotgun and it would have been a 1 damage shotgun. You know it, I know it.
my shotguns never hit more than 4. It's just how they relate. It's just how it goes.
Sync error favoring Knight confirmed.
Mind you, I think even with a 4 damage shotty there, he still would have been winning that fight.
It was just so much damage that Knight came out with.
It's the classic, Ranger orb shotty, right? It can just do so much burst damage, and yeah, Knight just he could play his match on that. Such a beautiful job of denying that side of the map from Lua. Where,
Really well played. Really well.
Yeah,
played.
and like you can look at items, right? It's pretty much a perfect split between the two. But Knight was, don't get that wrong. Like, don't, yeah, that was Knight in control the whole time. Knight allowed Lua to have those 12 AVs. It's not that he didn't, want to have them. He just knew that with 2 lights on his side and the full LG control, he could control that map. And that's exactly what he did.
I was going to say, and just looking at the LG damage there, so you can look at the percentages, fairly comparable. If you look at the actual damage and shots taken, that's what tells the story of that map. Knight was just able to do so much more with the LG in those mid-range fights, and the mid-range fights, that's CK. So, yeah, great denial. The control of that map wasn't around your traditional Quake items. The control on that map was around that LG. And Knight did a great job.
Yeah, get full credit on Knight on that one. He almost made no mistakes on like half those maps there. It's just, there was a couple of things on the Blood Cup where Lua, was able to play his game, but when it came to Knight and playing Knight's game, which is interesting, right? Because previously, right, Knight has always won the most defensive playstyle and all that, but we're looking at that matchup there, right? Knight was the one taking fights, right? He wasn't backing out. He was forcing, and there were situations where Lua was forced to push in, but that wasn't because Knight was playing defensive. It was because Lua had to make something happen, or Lua needed to, he needed items, right? He needed the Mega, he needed an LG, and Knight was forced him to do that. And so I think, I know Knight said before, he's been trying to, doesn't want to win that award again at the end of the season for being the most defensive player. And
Can I just address something real quickly in the chat? Hodgie, you can talk shit about me when you can post a decent time on Imola, mate. Okay, back to the game. So, have we got another game on tonight? Have we got 4 on tonight?
No, only 3. This is the last one for the...
Okay.
This is the last... No, we've got Red Oxide now versus...
Yep.
Billy popping up.
Billy, my God.
Yeah,
2 guys who never gave up on the game.
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited for this one because I have a... both these guys have been playing so much Quake. They both love the game. Who do you favor in this? Hey, what do you think?
So, I think this game is going to be decided on the first map. If Redoxide can get a win, I reckon he can take it to the end. If Billy gets the win, I reckon that could tilt Redoxide just enough that he gets into his own head and might struggle with the remainder of the maps. Especially considering the first map is his pick, Awoken, where we've got Ranger and Strog. So, fairly vanilla Awoken matchup there.
Actually, both these players are very emotional players. When things are going well for them, and they're in the flow of the game, they are almost unstoppable. But when we've seen it, both of these players, they might have a couple of bad beats here and there, and it sort of gets to them, and they just
the type of tilt is what's important though. We've seen before Redoxide, when he gets into his head, he kind of backs off, becomes more passive. He doesn't believe in himself, and it affects.
Or he plays hyper aggressive, to be fair, sometimes as well. So it's like it depends on which side.
I'm going off the typical. Here, what we see most often, where's Billy with the raging. If he's in a situation where he can't just Alt F4 the game, he goes hyper aggressive, which, considering the second map, Deep Embrace, favours that style of play.
Yeah,
I think if we're wanting to see it go to 3 maps, we want a Redoxide win first up.
I think, honestly, I think the second map, I reckon Billy...
Redoxide's already in his head. If you take a look at the chat, he says he's lost most of his games today and he'd bet against himself. Don't think like that, Redoxide. We believe in you. Unbiasedly, we believe in you.
Don't tell Billy, but you got this, man. And now don't tell Red, but come on, Billy. I want to both win. That's the problem. Problem with a small community, when you like everyone in the community, you don't want anyone to lose. But
no, we got this. Rob, pick a favourite. Who's winning?
Yeah. We need an unbiased opinion.
We are all winners.
There you go. I like it. He did take the cheat answer out.
But like
It was the
Billy,
cheat.
Billy once he's like ready from whenever, so he's taking the underdog role.
All right, so there we go. So that means that Red Oxide is the favorite. So
Yeah.
I want to
statement.
start off on Red Oxide this match, I do. Let's start off following him.
All right. I want to see 3 maps. Let's just put it that way. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
And because I want to see 3 maps, I want Red Oxide to win Awoken.
yeah.
Yeah, you said we're starting on Red Oxide?
Red Oxide, mate.
Yeah, on Red Oxide.
Yes.
Yes.
Red Oxide.
Round begins in
It's such a classic matchup too. The begin Awoken as well. You know, like Strog and Ranger, two just great champs to see. And Red getting this red spawn, as some would say, and a bit of an aggressive push straight through TP there. Could have seen Billy pushing in with the LG. Opts to just play this a little bit more passively. Doesn't want to. I think it's going to come down to also so neither player's going to want to make this first big mistake here. They're both going to want to
Overlay, mate.
They're both going to want to sort of feel each other out for see how the other's playing. I don't know if they played against each other much yet. But right now,
considering how active the community's been, they've probably only had each other to play against.
now, since what's been announced, there's been a fair bit of a few people popping around there. Here we go.
Talking
Finally,
about over the last 12
Red
months,
getting to
mate,
this
not the
LG.
last 2 weeks.
Oh, that was a bit of a
that was
misplay
a-
there by the Pika. But
error.
Billy, he's pushing in with the wrong weapon. He doesn't even swap. He's still not swapping. That was
both
such a
didn't swap.
huge
What happened?
misplay by Billy. That was such a misplay. If he just swapped to LG there, that was it. Red was dead. Or Rockets, or anything else.
They both just had rails out staring at each other.
And right now, it's working for Bup. I guess that's what Billy was hoping for the first time. 1-to-1, and honestly, I'm worried they're both tilted already. Because...
They've both listened into the stream, they've heard what we've got to say, and they're pissed.
yeah, exactly. And they're just gonna, like, rail hard the entire time. Nice bit of tri-bolt. Nice rail there. Red Oxide taking unreturned damage, and Billy just pushing in to try and catch Red out here. Both players
read.
not healthy. Question is who's going to hit this first rail. It's really it comes down to the winner of this fight. And that swap though from Red Oxide. That was the better play. That's what I want to see. I want to see these guys swap, and all the rocket jump did not go quite how I had hoped.
Red Oxide saw it was a medium range fight. He switched to the appropriate weapon.
And making a mistake there. He pushed in trying to get too much damage off, and now might allow Billy
Billy's
to
going to
get
hear that.
both of these items. No, it's right. Red's going to be able to at least secure one item, but they're just pushing in each other on that rocket at the end there. That might be enough to push Red Oxide out of here. It is Billy taking up a T position. Strongest point on this map, and he's actually going to go here and grab this rail now as well. And Billy, he's done a good job here of stacking back up. 100-100. Red Oxide's still not quite there yet, and he is sitting in the T position, but there's not going to be any armor up there for a little bit.
Red Oxide wanting to use that Mega to get his stack back by the looks of things.
It's interesting how Billy's been showing a fair bit of respect here to Red. Like, Red had no stack there and just didn't opt to take a fight, and
Almost 3 minutes in, and the game, you could argue, hasn't really started yet. Both fairly
3
even.
minutes, yeah, 3 minutes in and 2-2.
Both 2-2.
Oh, Pika must have clipped a ledge there, doesn't get damage. That would have been a nice hit there, but
Cheeky rail. But the rail returned.
and there's still just rails coming from both players. This is just all they're firing, both players missing. Good to see that from Billy. I like to see the rocket jump out. But Red also playing really quick there. Wow, he hits him before he gets to that shard. That would have saved his life. And beautiful kill there from Red Oxide. This is a chance for him to make something work. Does also get heavy as well. With added bonus, having a nice little delay on that item too. So, Billy pushing out into that with the LG.
Rocket.
Huge damage. And the orb as well. And that's really unfortunate for Red, because Red had a huge stack in that fight. But that just shows you how respectful you have to be now. You cannot just opt to push in front of an LG like that. It's good rocket.
Good
Billy's
rail
just
as
back
well.
here. Damn, Red's still hitting massive
rocket.
damage. The rail there, both players neither connecting. Oh, Red. Nice shot from underneath.
And
This
it's
is messy.
just
I'm just
one
going to say
for one.
it.
This is a messy fight.
Every fight has been messy.
We're not seeing map control. We're not seeing smart entries into fights. We're seeing musket battles with the rails, essentially.
This is what happens when you have two players who hit really hard. Oh, nice shot there from that was good rockets for coming out from red, but Billy just had a little bit of positional advantage and able to get that kill. But yeah, this is what happens when you have like two aim powerhouses, you know? Like, I'm not saying they're not, like, they can be smart players when they want to be, but right now, they're just hitting shots, is what they're doing.
Is the way they're both playing supporting of a smart game, or is it supporting of the Great Musket Battle of...
it's playing of it's a playing of I can hit hard. Who's hits harder than who is going to win this. It's got nothing to do with, yeah. And someone needs to start getting a bit of control around these items.
Who's worked out their
right now, hopefully Red will sort of be able to... He's got a good timing between these two items if he knows about this heavy timing. He's on the right part of the map there. He might be able to make some sort of play for it. He's got the intel now. Good bit of tri-bolt. And he will have seen that heaviness. He knows when the item times are.
That
this item delay, though.
Yeah,
he's going to sync it up.
But it's gone now.
Good bit of damage from underneath. The question is, can Red do something bad? Nah, he tries to jump in. Up the jump pad with the LG. Good rail from beneath. Does sort of halt Billy a little bit.
Crap rail from beneath.
Pushing in with rail. Risky, but if he missed that shot, he was dead.
Did any of that LG hit them? No, but the direct rocket does. And we're straight
What is
back.
this just mess of a show?
What is happening?
I'm so lost. I'm trying to analyze what's going on, but I can't because I don't think they know what's going on yet either. And
But both players have just decided to throw sportsmanship right out the window.
Hey, it makes for entertaining gameplay, at least. I'll give it that. You never know what to expect. And rails again. We see a rail drill from both players. Billy coming out much better in that engagement there.
It really feels like both players heard our pre-game analysis and went, hold my beer.
Well, if that's what they're aiming for, they're doing a good job. But right now, Red, critically low, still railable, and...
I really don't think Red gives a shit at this point. Like, he's literally just going past items like, where's this guy so I can shaft him?
He is hanging around here. I'm assuming waiting for this armor, but like, there we go. He finally gets it. Billy's sort of just been nowhere to be seen this whole time, so just hanging down this lower central area, which is an interesting spot to hide in, and ooh, he did catch a glimpse of him. I think he was going to go for that rail. And this will actually allow Red to get a free item. Here comes out. Oh, interesting. Rocket jumping up. Dangerous, but doing it while the peak was out was the time to do it if he was.
Yeah,
it
but
was
you
a
got to
quick
hit your
decision.
musket shots. You got to hit your musket shots.
Well, he had rockets ready to go, and they were landing. So, oh, pushing up the jump pad does take a direct, but there we go. For the first time, I think we've seen a more than a one frag lead, and this is what I was worried about. We're going to start seeing.
Make that a two frag lead.
Pushing right. Red has done a lot of damage, but the question is, he needs to. There we go. All right.
I was about to say, was that a tilt we've just seen? No, Red's putting himself back in contention. He's only 2 down.
And that was a bad push in by Billy because, like, he's, you know, he knows the Mega's up. He should have timing on that. He shouldn't be pushing in that situation. And Red could get a good kill here. That's a great rail. Question is, can he keep following this up? Billy wants to get away. Does not want to keep taking this fight. Ooh, not quite. Facing the wrong side of the map, but Red right now is just zooming around everywhere. Tri-bolt does connect for a tiny little bit. Nothing of note. Billy, no armor to his name still. And if Red catches him out here, that's it. He's gone. Doesn't even opt to pick up more LG. It doesn't matter. He's going to take Billy's LG. 7-8. We're brought right back to a one frag game. Oh, that movement error may have actually just helped Red out. And Billy still pushes through the TP.
Oh my!
I don't even know what's going on. How does that happen?
That was nerves.
That's what's going on.
That was nerves. I would say Billy's definitely the one who's maintained his composure the most here. With a minute and a half left.
I wish we had voice comms for both of these players.
We don't need to hear two men grunting at each other, mate. Let's be honest. Minute 15. We're going to see Red get even more scrappy now, if that's even possible. That rail...
That rail does, yeah, saves Billy there. I think if he misses that, the LG pushing would have been huge.
He knows which Red's going.
Question is Billy just going to play this a bit more passive now? Is he going to allow... Ooh, he does catch him. Doesn't actually get the shot off. There we go. He gets it here. Oh, and the follow-up rocket as well. And Red does peek his head out. Almost gets taken out. Does get a bit of a haircut, I think.
I reckon 15 seconds, if Red doesn't make something happen.
He just doesn't have the stack to do it, right? Like, Red's sort of sitting there waiting over there for that item, and that item's not even close to being up.
Name one time in the last 9 minutes, 30 seconds where that's mattered one bit.
You make a good point, but... Look, these guys are still smart. Like, Red knows that he's not going to win a fight with the stack he was on.
30 seconds.
But Billy right now, he's just playing this correct. He's just hiding in this, like, bottom part here, and he's not making a sound.
15 seconds left. This is GG. GG's happened.
What a such a scrappy but entertaining match.
Oh yeah.
Does get that kill, unfortunately for Red. Not with enough.
Makes it into a one frag match. I think both.
Well, we never saw more than frag lead that whole game, so.
Both players are going to look back on this match. They're going to look back on the VOD, and they're both going to be questioning who they let play their game from then. That's like watching the Div 3 and the Div 4 guys going at it after 6 months not on the tools, let's be honest. But I mean, mad respect to them. They were hitting their shots insane.
Hey, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, they were
very rarely missing rails. The LG hit rate was insane. They were still getting their items and they were fighting over them. There was the bare minimum of a game plan happening.
They wanted to show. They just wanted to give us a show. So that's what they want. They knew they were on stream. They had a gentleman's agreement to just have fun, and I approve of it.
But having said that, coming into Deep Embrace, Billy's pick, and the map that historically we've seen Billy be more stronger on.
Yeah, honestly, I really do rate Billy on this map. I've played Billy on this map, and it's
painful.
God, it was. Yeah,
so the fact that Red wasn't able to get awoken.
Red's not going to be as Red's not bad on this map by any stretch, right? But
he's not crap on this map at all. No, not saying that. But it's Billy's map. Billy's known for being good on this. Billy's coming into it with, I'd argue, the better mental state. Like, just based on the finish of the game, Red's going to have come in with the frustration of not being able to see Billy for a full minute, combined with the fact that he lost by 1 frag in a frickin' scrappy match. It's stacked in Billy's favour going into Deep Embrace.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, look, I think this is going to... I personally reckon Billy will take the edge on this. I think he knows the map too well.
And having said that, I'm going to say, shall we start with Red again so we can at least see some of his play on this map?
Yeah, let's see what Red can give us on this map, because look, it comes down to him, right? He's the one who's got to make the play now. I think also Billy, this might not be the most conventional visor map, I think Billy is sort of the player you just don't want to have on visor anyway, just because you're going to take so much more damage just when he's got those walls up. So it'll be interesting to see.
Billy could play a health bubble on this map and he'd still do well.
And wow, we just see an immediate engagement with Red. I don't hate here, right? Like, he knows he saw that Billy went up that high ground, so he knows that Billy doesn't have the items, and there we go, yeah. Red Oxide knew
what he has to do.
He didn't get the weapons, so that allowed Red, that might have looked like just a bit of a balls all-in anger push, but he knew Billy didn't have any weapons to fight that back, and so as soon as he pushed in, and beautiful follow-up hit too, Billy getting that extra rail there may have just saved him. Oh, he dropped, and that little mistake in movement, and look at how quickly this
Oxide making me eat my words.
Yeah, he was listening to the our aftermatch report, and heard what we said, and he was like, "No, screw you guys, I am winning this." And he just came all guns blazing in this set, and damn, is he doing a good job immediately.
It just shows you how strong knowledge of the spawns on this map is.
Yeah. Oh, please don't fall in there. My heart dropped for a second. Don't want someone to get tilted because of that ledge. Great rail. Billy will get this item, but oh, great.
Those rail reds.
Fortunately, Red is not missing anything, so he is doing alright here. But, like, Billy is returning a lot of damage, and going to catch him out here. Good damage again from the rockets, but not in a position to
Billy wants to make
a
comeback. That was it then. He was handled the ball by Red and fumbled it.
Look, both players have put the brakes on a little bit here now, so it probably is a good chance now for Billy to try and make something. Oh, I say that, but wow, Red hits the beautiful, and yeah, Billy, he knows in that situation, he's so low. He could have probably gone over to deny that armor, though, I reckon. Like, rather than just suicide in there, he really does need to think about the items on the map, because allowing...
This is putting the brakes on, then Red's trail braking into these corners, mate.
Yeah, Red's 6 kills up right now, you know. 5 to -1, it's... I don't think this is what Billy was expecting, coming to his own map.
This is not what I was expecting.
And look at this, Red right now, he's just not missing anything. Beautiful weapon choice too, right? That's something we didn't see in the previous map. This like perfect weapon choice. He hits that rail off spawn. He knows that Billy's not healthy now. Look at this, 76% rail right now, coming out of Red.
We're not seeing the musket battle that Awoken became, to be honest. We're actually seeing decent weapon choice.
I say this is fast-paced action, but it's like Red's doing it correctly right now. He's pushing in once he hits this damage. He gets the rail. He knows he can take this fight. You know, swapping to the right weapons, getting that machine gun out, pushing in when he knows he's got the weapon advantage over his opponent. That's a bit of a but he's got the flame strike as well, and Billy just walks into the flame strike, takes the hit, knows the spawn here, pushing in straight with the LG. He's got the stack advantage, so he takes this fight, but Billy's hitting way more LG than what he did in that situation.
And Billy brings himself back up to having entered the game.
That being said, though, Red hits one and doesn't quite hit the second. There we go, Billy.
That LG
is positive on the scoreboard now.
Absolutely filthy.
Oh, that rail was a great shot there from Billy, and yeah, 2 rails on that. All he needs. Going to catch him off spawn here. Missed that first shot.
Missed the follow-up.
Oh, this is a really scary shot. Billy needs to just back off here. He's missing too many shots, and if he doesn't hit this next one, he might be killed, but there we go. Look how quickly this is.
Billy, it's a railgun, not a shotgun, mate. You have to aim it.
What's the difference, really? Let's be honest.
And in the space of a minute,
yeah,
Billy's back in the game.
Yeah, this map can do that, right? And I hope Red doesn't let that, you know, like, affect him. He's all pushing in here, and I think, yeah, Billy... Ooh, close. But, Red does sort of clean it up in the end. Shotgun push in here. I like the flame strike there just to force him back. He knows that Billy's got shotgun, great rail, and yeah, pushed him with the LG here. Should get this kill. Oh, Billy's actually pushing him with a shotgun. Oh, that was a really good time for him to push in. As he swapped weapon, he knew that Red wouldn't be able to get that LG out in time, so...
Was that starter shotgun, or...?
I believe that was super shotty, but... Red immediately answers back there with another frag of his own, and... We're already 14 frags into this match, 4.5 minutes in.
And it's still a dangerous time for both players. Both players won't want to be easing up at this point.
No, not at all.
Billy's still within, you know, a well-winnable frag rate at the moment. Red.
Well, we saw how quickly he managed to bring this back, right? It was, what, 6 -1? And within the space of a minute, he brought it back to, like, 4 to 6 or something like that. So it's like, you know, he can easily do it. It just depends on whether or not, A, these guys are going to slow down, which it seems like maybe we're going to have a bit of... Instead, they're going to find each other here. Initial good shot and second rail too. Yeah, Billy sort of got himself caught out a bit there. He kind of just had to make some sort of a play happen there, and Billy's still pushing in. Red finally picking up that LG that he missed. Not on a great amount of health, though. If he gets caught out with like an LG or something here, or even a rail, there we go. He does finally pick up that bubble.
Rail and a tickliff shaft, and he's down to be down for the count. Speaking of down for the count, gets pushed into the rockets there.
I was worried about that hit when I saw him start moving forwards. Is Billy going to be able to do something to deny this item? He goes for the rail, misses it. Billy pushing in with the LG. Takes 1 rail for it.
Fumbles.
He's got Flame Strike here as well. I'd like to see Flame Strike come out here just to secure this kill. Does use it in the end. And he does manage to stack back up really nicely in that spot too. That under area has so much health you can pick up. 325s and the 50 shard. And Billy gets caught on that for just a second, makes him take 50 LG damage. Falling back now. With 4 minutes to go.
You can actually see both players are slowing down just that little bit now that we're at the halfway mark. Whether it's, you know, finger fatigue or the brain kicking in a little bit.
Maybe they're realizing that, right, maybe Billy's probably starting to think, alright, we've got to start, you know, playing this a bit smarter now. Red's hitting his shots, you know, a lot more than last match. And Red still, I think, wants to take these fights, especially now with this stack that he's on. He's in control. He has a monstrous amount of health. Billy still only just getting some armor then. And always ready going to hear him. He is. Great initial
wrong
rocket there from
gun out.
Billy. Good start. Flame
Damage
strike out.
output.
Good flame strike to deny the position. He's using much better to see the abilities. That great though rail from Billy, and he misses the jump. But Red's not in a stack where he can engage in any way, shape, or form, and he's in a scary spot because if he gets caught out here, they're just going to do Ring Around the Rosie for a little while, and Red doing a fantastic job to stay alive somehow. If he can get out of here without losing a frag, right, all this time he's killing right now, he's massively beneficial to him. And great rocket. And if he can keep running, right, like, look how much time, look at all this, and not only that, he's now just got himself into a position where he's ahead stack-wise. He doesn't have to keep fighting this. He can fall back, allow Billy to even take this Mega. Not that he wants it. He wants it despite this great direct.
He can't really back off because 6 frags in a minute.
Exactly.
He's done that already once this match.
Alright, there we go. We
And
do see a
is
kill.
this
That
gonna
was
be
with
the
Side.
start of- Is this going to be the start of something?
I don't think Red's going to allow it, honestly.
He shouldn't.
I think we saw Red playing that a little bit more passive, showing that he's, he's realized what situation he's in. He's up. Like, he's got plenty of frags to play with, and there's not much time. There's only 2 minutes to go. There's no sight here either. Oh, especially with that rail there, and yeah, Red's just going to push this. There's no reason not to.
And like what we've said before, around the 8-minute mark, looking at the scores, this is where, as the down player, you're going to be thinking this is starting to get away
Is that
from
a GG
me.
coming from Billy?
Billy's
Yeah,
called
I
it.
thought that might be, yeah. There you go, 13-6.
We're getting
Go from
map
rhythm.
3.
So we've been completely wrong so far about this match.
Completely wrong. Okay, so we should not have any
Um,
predictions for map
no.
3.
No.
So that, what's going to happen is going to happen. We
Well,
have
to
no
be
influence
fair,
whatsoever.
I've got no idea what's going to happen in map 3 because, well, what just happened in those 2 maps? Do you know? I don't know.
Red was meant to be tilted for that map. What happened?
I think, honestly, sometimes having maybe that bit of energy was enough to get him going, right? Like, if you're like,
Maybe the
Not
mental
tilted, but
game
if
over the
you've got
last
that-
12 months has been beneficial to Red.
exactly, he's just got the energy, that bit of momentum, or that energy's built up from that first match was enough to get him like just fired up, and he was just mad. And once you start hitting shots when you're mad, you just kind of keep going. I'm completely talking out my ass here, but
I don't think any sane analysis could be done over any of the 2 maps we've seen so far.
I know, and I've loved this set so much. It's been so much fun. Going into Vale, are we? Interesting. All right, so we've got Galena from Red.
Going into Vale, Rob's going to win. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
Spectator's going to win this match.
it's better than it's the best guess we've got. But it's going to be really weird actually because we're going to have Red now on Galena, right? It's going to be complete. It's like surely you can't play Galena the same way you've been playing the previous map. Galena does not play well in that super aggressive. If you can get control right, and you can have your totems holding up on that high ground position, it can be that little bit of extra damage, prevent the the use of the TP. But otherwise, he's going to be he's going to be doing that long game of get the totem stack going, try and hide it down on the lower parts of the map, especially around that sort of rail room, right? That's the common area around HMG. You want to try and get those totems down. You want to get that overstack. You want to have that pocket mega with you.
You know what you've just done, mate? We're going to have all our battles in the mega room now that you've said that.
Probably, yeah. And it's going to be an all-out brawl, and there'll be no totem stacks whatsoever.
Yeah, it's all going to be MG and Gauntlet. Truls is going to be controlling both of their computers. Is what's going to happen.
Look, if Schulze was here, there would be a TP Gauntlet kill. It's actually required, I think, in when he plays this map.
Truls just loves to fist from behind. Let's be honest.
Prepare to fight.
Okay, who are we starting with?
All right, let's go with Billy here. Let's go
Okay,
with Billy.
Begins in 3, 2.
now let's just see what he pulls out of his ass for this.
Okay, so he's got this one. All right, good. So he doesn't opt straight to run into. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there, straight with the movement.
Tilted.
Well,
calling
that's the
it
thing. Is he tilted from the previous map? Like, this is a new map. It's even ground right now. Good push in here. Great rockets to begin with, and well, he takes a lot of damage. He's got a lot of health he can stack up on here. Clears that totem, doesn't quite walk into it.
Just looking at the health and armor bars, has either player done anything yet?
I'll say, yeah, we're effectively just off start here, but Billy will get... I think we're probably just going to see both players picking up their items off the start, and just... That turret up top actually saved Billy from having to deal with the red engagement, because red was pushing through and there was a little bit of delay between those two items. It would have allowed red to get on that high ground and try and pressure it a little bit. It wouldn't have stopped Billy from picking up the heavy, but it means he doesn't take any damage, so the turret doing its job there. Lovely tri-bolt.
64 tri-bolt, that's lovely to see.
Holding that rail angle. Beautiful shot there from Billy. And Billy, yeah, I like this. He's going to keep trying to regress here. Not able to get anything from him, but that's okay.
That was a smart play.
It means red's now a bit on the back foot, but red. Beautiful rail, and a second one too, and I don't think Billy was ready for that jump down. Going to get caught out here. LG's out for both players, but red with the larger stack after taking those two, receiving those two
Red's
two rails
definitely
there.
got high confidence at the moment.
Yeah, and yeah, good to push in here.
LG.
He's on. He can take that first rail. That's why that was a safe play to make. Billy wasn't going to get 2 shots off. Billy, just tanking straight into that totem. He shouldn't have hit that one. Coming through TP, takes a little bit of a rocket.
Rocket to the face for his trouble.
And red's actually just allowing Billy to take that. He should have seen him up above. He just destroyed the totem, but that's right. Red opting to fall back here. Getting back up to that 100 hertz. Alright, knows exactly where he is now after that jump pad.
And that's
good damage on both.
so much tri-bolt straight to the face there.
It means he also knows that turret's there, right? That's an important factor too. So he doesn't have to go up there and potentially check if it's there. Is he ready for Billy? Just holding up Billy only with the tri-bolt there. Good rail. LG from Billy was a nice choice just to try and push red back, which doesn't allow him to keep pushing out after he gets that initial bit of damage. But
Red's still showing a lot of respect and not pushing out.
ooh, almost walking into that one. Red does need to pick up some more rockets here. This is a very rocket-heavy map, and only 2 rockets here. He's got that TP totem set up. Just like guaranteed, extra like 40 bit of damage if Billy tries to go up that way, which does also sort of cut out the path. Oh, the timing, he clutches him out. I love that for Red. So far this match, every single time Red has peaked from the high ground, but this one time here, he makes a different play. He goes on that low ground, and Billy was just staring up at the sky the whole time. There's that damage from the totem. And Billy was not ready for him to push in that way, and catches him out. Good, great kill in fact there from Red, and another one that should be coming in here. Good initial rocket, the LG swap. Does take a lot of damage.
I was half expecting Red to run out of LG ammo.
Great
but
damage there too, and
off the spawn.
yeah, I think. Oh, Billy.
Billy's calling it early.
Yeah, I think that previous map just
Tilt.
I think it got to him.
The tilt happened.
Yeah, I think that initial engagement from Red off the start was just so strong. And again, on Billy's map too, right? Like, he stole Red's map.
Check the Discord in 15 minutes time. I'm sure Billy will be in there complaining about lag. Billy sends his apology to the stream.
No, look, you get how he's, you have a few little like rough things like that. It gets to you.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Deep Embrace was rough for Billy. I mean, we fully expected Billy to walk away with that, and he just couldn't get.
I think that just shows credit to Red, right? Of how like Red was coming at that, and I think he was hitting like 72% rail or something for the first like 4 minutes. Like, that's one of those situations where you can play correct. You might do a play that is perfectly correct, right, normally. But just because the opponent you're playing against has hit every single bit of damage possible on you, it's just what can you do, right? Like, it's one of those situations where if your opponent's just hitting really well, they can't keep it up all game. You're not going to hit 70-80% all game. It's just it's not feasible. So there's going to be that time where they're going to start. They're going to drop off. You're going to get your chance. But it's so hard to play through that first. It feels like it's forever. It feels like you're playing 10 minutes straight of just being destroyed. It's only 3 minutes. Flying was 4 minutes, right, by the time Billy sort of stabilized that first map, that previous map.
I just want to go back and talk about that first map, Awoken. That has to be... I don't know about you, Rob, but that's got to be some of the most insane high-level Quake Champions play that I've ever seen streamed.
Better
it was like
the 2v2 yesterday.
I said duel.
Okay.
Duel. It looked like they were playing it looked like they were playing FFA with extra steps where the rest of the lobby quit.
Yeah. Which, in that case went out to, and I think, honestly, I would say mechanically, I do think, if we were just talking about a free-for-all, honestly, I probably would say Billy. probably is. He's probably up there with some of the best, and I think I would probably give him the edge over Red if we were just talking about like a free for all. Just
Don't mince your words with it, mate. Billy's in Div 1. He is one of the best in Australia.
Oh, he is. He's insane.
You don't get into Div 1 by accident.
No. So yeah, what I mean by this is the fact that I think if we were talking like raw aim, I think Billy probably takes it over Red, but I think Red just has a better fundamental game overall as opposed to Billy. I think whether it just comes down to the experience, right, or the mental game in that situation. I think the mental game was a big part of that one.
Yeah, I think the opening Red had for Deep Embrace helped him a lot. He needed that good start on Deep Embrace to build any momentum on that map. Because as we said, it's a Billy map. If Billy got the ball rolling, there wasn't really going to be a chance to stop it. But Red was able to jump in on Deep Embrace, get those first few crucial frags out of the way, and then it was just a case of maintaining that lead as opposed to having to claw his way back into the fight.
Yeah.
And especially when that's not your map pick, that's really important. And I mean, he kept it together for the full, what did we see, 34 minutes of play? Rob looks like he wants to talk, and I keep talking over it.
No, they're just... well, who wants to hear Inch talk, anyway?
Yeah.
But now Soot is talking.
We go over to the KingCon broadcast for that.
I was going to say there's another broadcast to go to, so we shouldn't keep everyone too much longer because
there's more Quake to watch.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more high action Quake to go. It won't be quite as high tier as what our stuff was, obviously, but they're getting close.
And
they might compare to the Aussies one though.
There's still it still goes on for 10 hours, so you guys don't have to sleep today.
Yeah, so
just call in
exactly.
sick
If you're not going to work tomorrow, if you've taken a sickie to get the long weekend, the Melbourne
most,
Cup.
Most Victorians are going to be looking for that 4-day weekend. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Oh, it's this weekend.
Yeah, we've got in Victoria here in Australia, Tuesday's a public holiday, so a lot of people will also take the Monday as a sick day, or they'll book it off as a 1-day holiday to get themselves a nice 4-day weekend.
Yep.
I unfortunately forgot about it and didn't do that, so I'm working tomorrow.
I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, you're just working now.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like work. And
It's not work if you love it.
No, true. And my plane leaves at 6 o'clock, so I still 6 p.m. So I still have some time to roam around Barcelona tomorrow.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing the Rob vlog on Shaftastic's YouTube channel, mate.
Yeah. I don't think it will be there. But
so what? Let you go.
No, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
I didn't want to say anything.
We should let everyone get over to the KingCon stream.
Thanks for the game, guys. I'll see you in chat over at the KingCon stream.
Yeah. Next week there will be again kuachicups week 2.
Yes.
Again, 3
more in split
featured matches, same time, same place.
We'll be here.
Stuff like that.
Looking forward to it.
And Rob with more coffee than being awake.
Probably. Good night, good fight, and enjoy KingCon.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Night, everyone.
But you meant a scrub, right?